We're back, baby. It is time for Live with Lindy. I am Eric Lindquist. You can follow me on X at Eric Lindquist. It is so nice to be back with you all. I, as many of you already know, became a father. I'm a daddy. You don't have to call me daddy. I don't even want my kid to. But anyway, we got ourselves a massive MLB slate. I've been betting every day because what else was I going to be doing? That is for sure. It is time for Live with Lindy. I'm so excited for this. We have tons to break down. I got some splits that I want to talk about. There's some weather that we've got, starting with this Arizona-Chicago game. I got nothing. I went through this game with a fine-tooth comb. If you made me bet a home run, I saw plus 1,000 lingering out there for Pete Crow-Armstrong, but I think you know by now. When the wind's in at Wrigley, life gets hard. It gets unpredictable as far as like who could actually hit through the teeth of this thing. But we got Kevin Roth's weather report right here over on Tails. And wouldn't you know it, Arizona, Chicago, minus 37% versus all MLB, 35% for the park, yada, yada, yada. The whole point is that it is not highly variant baseball. It is very much the opposite. We are looking at a pretty controlled environment. Nothing like a 7.5 total was as freaking Merrill Kelly and fucking Colin Ray. What are we doing here? Anyway, we got a lot more to be breaking down. Baseball doesn't start till 6:40 Eastern time. And then we got some basketball, which was actually kind of nice to me yesterday. I know that I 2 for 4, but here's the thing. It's called unit allocation. It's called utilizing your bankroll correctly and also betting more on the things you feel better about. I had a half unit on Terrence Shannon over 9.5 points, plus 120. I also had a quarter unit on 15 plus for plus 400. I'm a coward, the likes of which this world's never seen before. He didn't even hit 2 threes for what it's worth. So you can see here, I got Terrence Shannon. I also bet a quarter unit on his threes, but quarter unit there, plus 400. We cashed that one. Also nice to get the plus 120 there. Naz Reid does not hit his threes. He had one like 7 minutes left. So absolute craziness. But as we begin, hit that like button for me so I can continue to do this content, even though I haven't done this content for almost 2 weeks. It's good to be hanging back in the streets. How does it feel, man? What does it feel like to have a random alien that you didn't know a week and a half ago just like randomly shitting in your hand? I don't know. Changed the diaper this morning. Just poop. Poop came out while you're changing the diaper. Absolutely insane. You can do Odd Shopper again. Yeah. We're going to be starting Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks back up on Sunday night, so you can check out everything there. I talked a little bit about how, hey, as we're starting to get integrated, as I'm starting to I went on, I did my maternity leave thing, and now here we are, paternity leave, there we are. Same potato. So much stuff where I was like, hey, I know I'll be able to get on a live stream here for an hour, 2 hours, getting Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks together, not just getting plays, not just getting graphics, not just getting everything done. That's 6-8 hours usually, working on that throughout the day. So it was going to be easy to jump onto some of the live streams and be able to break down some of the stuff for you. But you probably know by now, I've been betting every day anyway. What else was I going to do? I repeat, what else was I going to do? And promo code DOUBLE, that stayed active here for everybody involved because, well, I love you guys and wanted to keep that going. Promo code DOUBLE, $20 for a month of the Lindy and Friends Discord. A lot of people took advantage of that here while I was gone, so shout out them for knowing that I wasn't going anywhere. I said I wasn't going anywhere there, but $20 for a month of the Lindy and Friends Discord, and we got this awesome 7-day, look at this, where's my head over here, 7-day free trial, promo code LindyOS down below. I'm going to be sharing a lot of these great tools that you see on your screen right here. We got the NBA streets pulled up, which we'll get to later on. We got ourselves MLB. Hits, runs, plus RBIs. I was looking at a couple of different plays also for the Pick'em streets over there. Have Hunter Goodman in a number of cards. Can't believe that he was just, I think he still is 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs, which makes no sense to me. We got ourselves total strikeouts. We're going to get into a couple of those. I haven't bet any of them so far. There's one that I had for a Pick'em card, and we'll get into him specifically. Hi, Cincinnati. How are you this fine day? But I'm excited because these tools are awesome. they also have continued to get better. We've now got the liquidity tool. We've got the in-game live betting tool. We have so much great stuff here to share with you at OddsShopper. And if you haven't taken advantage of that 7-day free trial, I repeat, promo code LindyOS. That is down at the link below because 7 days, free 99 is the best 99. Take advantage. Take advantage. Should we talk some baseball? It's about damn time, right? It's about damn time. Lindy, he's my man. If you can't do it, nobody can. If you want to jerk me off, just call me. Just call me. Use a little rub and tug. Get the Lindy's. Yeah, woo, Brian Woo. He's on the slate. That makes me happy. My D2 Mighty Ducks fans. I woke up and the pain was gone. Yeah. All right. First game out the gate, because again, Arizona-Chicago is AIDS. We got Mackenzie Gore and Jack Flaherty, and interesting weather that we've got. Oh, let me grab Kevin Roth's goodness, because again, Kevin Roth is good, and there we are. We do have wind out, but it's 50 degrees, and that's kind of the prevailing notion across the board today. We have 52 degrees in Cincy, pretty, 43 dew point there, 38. Let's see. Yeah, can't see. This is what happens when you become a dad. You can't. You need glasses. I need glasses now. Milwaukee, Washington, decent enough hitting environment. Again, home runs slightly up there as well. But I started my board. You know what? Let me pull this up. Lindy's longs balls, because I'm always tracking. We tracked all of last year, 23 units, nice stuff over there. But every home run play throughout the entire year, this was not a good stretch, that's for sure. But overall, it's been an awesome home run month. Started up over 13 units here so far. Now, Ketel Marte and Kyle Schwarber saved my ass over the weekend. Otherwise, that would be a lot of red. But we were up over 15 units, and then it's a quarter here, a quarter there, a quarter here, a quarter there, a quarter here, a quarter there. I think you get the idea. And ended up being down about 2.75 until we got the Marte Schwarber. It was the evening play into the morning play. So overall, Weatherholt, 9th inning homer. You want to talk about jerking somebody off? I could jerk off JJ Weatherholt for all the goodness that he did there. But overall, we were well up over the course of April. Looking to get a little bit better because obviously, Lindy Tavares, why did I only make that a 0.1 unit play? That hurt my feelings so much because this number is ridiculous and, well, it doesn't really exist anymore. You can see down here, I do have Basallo, Beavers, Lindy Tavares. Those are the 3 that I've bet so far. Not sure what else I want to. Freddie Freeman I'm looking at, plus 720, plus 740, kind of in that range that he's been at all day. I've got a pretty short list for today, and there's a couple of other spots that I think I could pull the trigger on. I think this one is a little bit weird to me because for this ballpark down, but we know that this is a bandbox and it's going to be 79 degrees. I saw it earlier, different sites, obviously, 80 degrees for Kevin Roth here, but 79 degrees for the National Weather Service. And boy, oh boy, that seems interesting in Sacramento, does it not? Feels pretty interesting. Very interesting. But we got ourselves Baltimore, New York, and I did like this spot a lot last night. So I ended up firing up 3 plays there. We'll get into some more. Plus, I got to change something in my sheet because I did not put quarter units on each of those. I put 0.2 units on all 3. So it was $20, $20, $20. Makes it easy enough. I basically bet with the 10K bankroll in mind. And, I'm doing a lot of flat betting, more so than some of the quarter Kelly. Part of it is that, one, it allows for me not to move numbers as much for everybody involved because my job is predicated a lot on helping other people learn how to do this as well. 2, there comes a day where I have so much edge that I just don't want to do this anymore. Prediction markets are doing pretty interesting things. We'll put it that way. But everything I bet is at public books at the moment because it allows for us to track it. It allows for us to do everything that we need to be profitable long term. And that is the name of the game, especially when it comes to something like home runs, because, well, you're going to lose a lot of days. Especially if you're not betting 10, 12 home runs. Well, actually, you're going to lose more betting 10, 12 home runs more than likely. I think the most I've had in a day is 7. I think I had 7 the day my daughter was born, if I'm being honest. I love you, honey. Guys, did you know I love my wife? I love my wife. All right. But we got Mackenzie Gore on the mound, and there's some interesting splits with him specifically starting things off. I looked at Kevin McGonigle on Underdog, actually. McGonigle was somebody that was popping for me last night. People watch this guy. If you haven't watched this guy, you're in for a treat. But Underdog, plus 779, it's come down a little bit. It was sitting north of plus 800 all of last night. And I thought about adding it to a couple of different cards. We have a plus 875 at BetMGM. He's on the short list right now. I don't really care lefties, righties, ambidextrous. Everybody is capable. Everybody is capable of going yard against Mackenzie Gore. 212 expected ISO against lefties. We're also getting moderate launch, but there's individual pitches that we can take advantage of. The sinker is the one you kind of got to stay away from as a lefty. If you get a fastball, though, there's enough loft here. And obviously we have that wind direction, which is, something that I don't think gets utilized enough when we talk about this stuff. Who are the pull hitters? Who are we paying attention to? Left on left, is McGonigle going to pull the baseball or is he not? Because again, we want to ride that wind. Think about golf. When the wind's going one way, you need to aim it out to the wind's going to move it. Now, we can talk about hitting a draw into a cut wind. We can talk about hitting a cut into a draw wind. The point is that I want to be paying attention to Mackenzie Gore here because this is kind of a tough spot for him. This is a pretty patient lineup. We go over here to our good friend Fangraphs. I've got the lefty splits sitting here as well. And you just group this by walk rate. Detroit, number 1 in baseball, drawing walks against lefties. Difficult. 103 WRC plus, so they're creating runs above average. 150 ISO, basically. I mean, across the board, I think this is kind of scary. Plus, we have a pulse on Spencer Torkelson for the first time in a very, very long time. Spencer Torkelson was still hitting the ball hard, and actually I bet him one day where he didn't make a lineup. That's the only time that I've clicked on Spencer Torkelson. Then he decided to hit a homer 5 days in a row or some shit. Those are fucking unbettable numbers. But Dylan Dingler, constantly popping for me. I think I've only pulled the trigger on him once. I'm 0-for-1 on him in the home run department. Why let facts get in the way of just being able to look at my sheet? Yeah, one time, 0-for-1. So there we are. Welcome back. Thank you so much. It's like I never left, but I did leave. But I'm here now. That's what matters, right? But Kevin McGonigle, man, oh man, has he been freaking good. We get launch. We get, I'd say below average exit velocity. But here's the thing. When you're trying to capitalize on the upside of a home run, this is so big to me. I had said this coming into this season. I thought he was going to be one of the most patient hitters in baseball. I didn't know he'd be this good. I was thinking like 16, 17%. We can look at Zips and Steamer actually too. We can look at Kevin McGonigle. You look at some of the projection sources for him coming into the season. Had him north of an 11% walk rate. So I wasn't like breaking any news that he was going to be somebody who got on base. He just gets on base. He's a Moneyball guy. Because he gets on base. But we are definitely looking at 163 WRC plus, way better than projected. We also have this deal for the strikeout stuff. I mean, he was not expected to strike out. He has been sublime, though, in that department. Absolutely sublime. This is not your typical 21-year-old hitter coming into baseball. This is not a typical 21-year-old who's showing up, and that's why they locked him up. 8 years, $150 million. Good for him. Really good for the team if he continues to do this, because this is somebody you want for 8 years on your squad. He is just sublime. He's a sublime dude. Now, he's only hit 2 homers, and trust me, I'm very aware of all of the pain and suffering that is Kevin McGonigle homers not going yard. 0-for-3 betting him on the season. But there's no question that against a Mackenzie Gore at plus 875 now, with this wind direction, we're walking into kind of, I think, a good spot. So he's on the short list. And as you can see, I was talking about pulling the baseball. He does that. He very, very much does that, his pull error percentage. So last night as I was researching, just wanted to share, I'm going to kind of highlight a couple of the guys and we'll kind of decide who we want to pull the trigger on. You don't want to bet everybody every day. And hey, there are 7, 8 positive EV home runs. We can bet them all. That's not an issue. The thing is that I've found long-term, if I bet 12, 14 games individually and Major League Baseball sent out a new shipment of baseballs and everything's dead off the bat, you're probably losing a lot of money. So I don't want to overexpose myself to any individual day in baseball, which is probably why, when you see home run lists and you see everybody there, I'm like, you are very confident in a lot of things that in baseball have a lot of bearing on whether or not the ball leaves a yard or not. Not saying that Mackenzie Gore won't give up contact. We can look at his hits plus runs plus RBIs, but routinely Kevin McGonigle is one of the most difficult to get to in this department. Plus 105 is actually better. Plus 110 is even better. Even better. Let's make sure my edge books are correct here. So kind of just looking, depending on what state you're in, you're able to kind of go through. I don't want Onyx. Well, I can keep Onyx as an edge book. That's fine. That's fine. Polymarket, I don't have in because if somebody doesn't make a lineup, that becomes $0. And so they're priced differently than they are at other sites. Something to keep in mind as you're building this out yourself and utilizing the odds screen for yourself. And then books. We want to make sure everything looks good here. Got everything here. I can have Polymarket show. Actually, I'm just going to say fuck it. But yeah, any home run that I bet is going to be at a public book, and you can probably find a better number on Kalshi for a number of the guys that I'm going to be throwing out there, and that is just fine. 50 states, available everywhere. Everybody can play at prediction markets. The greatest thing since sliced bread, even though I don't really eat a lot of bread, and it's not because I'm gluten intolerant. It's just because I don't like the texture. I'm not a big bread texture guy. Did we talk about Kevin McGonigle enough? Do we want to keep going? Not crazy power, obviously, against the lefty right off the bat, but I'm liking the launch. I'm liking the fact that we get a guy who does not swing and miss very often. 4% swinging, 4%. Him and Gleyber Torres, man, back to back. That has got to really suck being a strikeout pitcher and knowing that you've got Jahmai Jones, right off the bat, who hits the ball ballistically hard against lefties, and you're going to get 3 at-bats of him today, unless Mackenzie Gore leaves the game early from injury, and then you're going to get Colt Keith pinch hit for him. Just is what it is. These are the things you run into. Now let's also talk about Lee, because this is somebody that I haven't seen anybody talking about, and I'm pretty impressed by him. I haven't had a lot of time other than in the Lindy chat, and then my guy Jim NLK, my guy John the Bettist. We basically jerk each other off in another chat. But, basically, outside of that, I haven't been able to talk about things that I'm noticing as much. Haven't been able to, go through the normal process, and haven't been on shows. So, that might be part of why. But Lee, this guy is actually impressing me big time. A couple of the problems. 1, he's in the 9-hole. 2, you just have so many pinch hit situations. You just have a ton of them. Now, Jace Young's on the roster, not worried about him. Basically, you're playing one of them every day. But Colt Keith I brought up for Jahmai Jones, it could very easily, very, very easily turn into something else. Now, the projected lineup today, too far. We went too far. But the pinch hit risk is something you always want to be very, 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 very aware of when it comes to this Detroit team. As you're projecting out your own at-bats, if you want to make out your own projection models, if you're trying to do your own shit, this is definitely a spot. You can see 2 very obvious names that are not in this projected lineup. The first is the aforementioned Colt Keith. The second is Kerry Carpenter, who almost always is going to be pinch hitting here for a Jahmai Jones in a single game scenario, or Colt Keith if they decide, but Colt Keith usually can play the field a little bit better. Kerry Carpenter just roams the desert. He's combing the desert. And then you could have Matt Vierling usually is batting cleanup here, but Lee, I've been paying attention to this guy. I have not bet a single thing for him yet. Just kind of watching how it plays out. because he's somebody that I think has a ton of pop. A ton of pop. If we just go to some of his other shit, because we've seen him around other places. We've seen him around the block. AAA, 14 homers with Detroit there. This is really his first look. He's only 23. So, he came over when he was 18 to the Philly organization, worked his way up through A-ball, AA to AAA, and 190 ISO, looking okay over here, but hadn't struck out a lot. And Zips and Steamer have him below average, below that 23%, 22.5% threshold, 22.1% with FGDC. We got Zips sitting at 21.4%. He's been striking out quite a bit right off the bat. Not surprising as you're starting to see big league pitching for the first time. But 208 ISO off the gate, that might be a little bit aggressive, but I do think there's something here with the bat tracking. He's above average. He's above average in the bat speed department. Well, it's red, but the whole point is that he's basically on par with it here. He's somebody who very much is going to put bat on ball against lefties, and I don't know. I've just been paying attention to these numbers. I don't think I'm going to pull the trigger on it today again, but part of the research, part of working through this is trying to be early to the party, trying to find spots that aren't being properly accounted for. I think he's striking out more than what he is going to typically be, but considering it's Mackenzie Gore, and Mackenzie Gore, despite some of his faults in this being a very difficult spot, the guy gets strikeouts. The guy throws a curveball that is very much going to get swing and miss. The fastball is getting more swing and miss at the moment. I don't expect that to continue. We go to 2025 with the Nationals. You can see dips off on the fastball. The fastball is not going to be getting a 15% swinging strike rate. That'd be insane. That'd be absolutely insane to me. So keep your eyes on him because there's going to be a day to deploy him. It might take an injury. It might take, a really good weather spot. But even because again, 2 at-bats against lefties, and then want to touch on the Texas pen. Because I think this also is interesting. Lots of lefties. Jalen Beeks, Tyler Alexander, and Latz is their closer. I mean, they can go either way they want to. They can go righty or lefty with Junis. Wild to see Jacob Junis as a closer in baseball for what it's worth. Coffee is delicious too. But overall, man, Kevin McGonigle, got to be somebody that we entertain for today. Got to be somebody that we entertain for sure. And Lee, just have him on the back burner. Everybody else pretty efficient. There's always pinch hit risk with these guys. So many ways that they can move players around the field. Not quite Dodger-esque, where the Dodgers can play guys second and outfield, shortstop, and do whatever the hell they want. Kike Hernandez, I mean, that's kind of been his career with the Dodgers. Mookie Betts playing shortstop, which obviously he is on the IL, so rip. But overall, Mackenzie Gore, his outs prop was a little bit heavy for me. Nothing that I wanted to fire right off the bat. Didn't need to do that night before, but you can see I have a million things that I'm generally going through the night before. I do lean towards his under of 15.5 outs, but right now, best available on Pick'em. I'll see what else shows up throughout this show, throughout my research this afternoon, because I'm not going anywhere for the next 7 hours, except for maybe to go feed, because I'm a bitch. But, Mackenzie Gore, under 15.5 outs, definitely something I want to pay attention to. All right. Next up, on this side of it, I did have a bet. Jack Flaherty, only a quarter unit. It was a very small play for what it's worth. But let's go back to last night because I got some pick'em here. Need to get pick'em going again, man. My strikeouts have been really, really good. Oh, shout out B. Grebs, man. My guy B. Grebs, awesome in the NHL streets last month. Really, really nice to see positive ROI for me in the NHL streets. You know what? I've talked zero about the NHL, but the beauty of Tails, and you can go follow me on tails.bet/Lindy, throwing out a lot of free pick'em, throwing out a lot of other things as well, but try to keep a lot of the bets VIP because otherwise numbers move fast. If I post something, you can get alerts directly to your phone. You can have notifications set up. We have Hunter Goodman here. Ended up being even more pick'em viable considering it's minus 115 over on underdog there. But Jack Flaherty over 2.5 walks. Now sitting best number at even money. Knew I was going to be a little early to the party. Knew we'd get some good CLV on this. So 10 cents difference there. Didn't make it a huge play purely because it is a walk prop for the love of God. But Jack Flaherty has a problem right now. Jack Flaherty has a major problem. And as you work through this, man, there are certain matchups that are just a disaster. And there's 4 batters in the Texas projected lineup that I did a lot of work on last night. I think Josh Smith is like pretty viable on underdog for a home run. Let's see where he went. Oh, my Josh Smith plus 1,400 there. All right, he's gotten nuked a lot actually. Plus 942. So yeah, plus 1,400. I bet 365. Damn good fine. I'll sock it to you one more time. Get low. What happened to Evan Carter too? He got nuked as well. We got positive edge going on him over on OS. Jack Flaherty has a walk problem. What is wrong with you? No. Is that Lindy I see? Kind of sounds, yeah, no. Look into my eyes. I have a thermos of Master's coffee. And a Zin. I'm clinging to life right now. I will say Jahmai Jones plus 625. I like that. He's going to get 3 at-bats in a majority of times here. Like no matter what, no matter how, I think he's getting 3 at-bats. Nico double off the rip. I'll have that game on in the corner. Let's pull that game up just so we can watch it because it's good to have baseball on in the corner. Never a bad thing to have more baseball, but I wish I had a bet from it, guys. Just didn't see anything all that appealing with it. Me so horny. Yeah, Zach Gallen. I like how I kept saying Merrill Kelly, Zach Gallen. Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly. Should know names, but you know. I'm going to be mad not being on the over of this game, aren't I? Closed at 7. Not 6-7. Not 6-7. I don't know. I'm a dad now. Fuck me. We got ourselves Jack Flaherty with a walk problem, and I was talking about this. He's had 1 game the last time out with fewer than. I'm not a big, he did this in this many games guy. I'm really not. That's a fuck ton of walks to be getting plus money on over 2.5. Just saying. I mean, 2 innings. Was there rain or something with Cincinnati? What happened? Had to have been rain. Was he hurt? Did they just hit eject on him immediately because he's starting to suck? I don't know. I put him in for 90 pitches, so I hope we're getting the full allotment. He had 2 walks and 68 pitches in 2 innings. That's insane. This guy is just a walking walk right now. And we've got ourselves a number of dudes. Jock Peterson, Evan Carter, Josh Smith, Corey Seager, lots of them. So at even money, I think this is still a good bet. I wouldn't put any more than a quarter on it. I really wouldn't. Especially if we're going to have concerns of them like limiting his workload or something. But I don't believe that's the case working through it. But Jock Peterson, Evan Carter, Josh Smith, Corey Seager, all north of 12% walk rates. And yeah, Jack Flaherty, have you seen his splits against lefties in the walk department? Look at this. Look at this. So we're just going to go versus left-handed hitters. Walk rate. Jack Flaherty, 22.4% walk rate. Now, Cole Reagans, Walbert Urania, you better figure your shit out. And Zach Wheeler, we're going to get a glimpse behind the curtain of him today. That'll be fun. But overall, man, got to feel good about that bet. So come join me. Let's go see Sergio. Anybody else remember that commercial? No? Okay. I'll shut up. Oh, I think that I found myself a Brady Singer. He is always right there when I need her, but 14.2% K rate. This was the guy that I talked about with the strikeouts for Pick'em, 4.5. Where do we even get that number? In Pittsburgh against righties, they're probably the main concern on why I haven't bet this individually yet. 23.1%. We know we get Brandon Lau up there. That's not ideal. O'Neal Cruz. These guys are still going to strike out at the same time that they're going to bludgeon people's faces in. Connor Griffin striking out a ton. Marcell Ozuna striking out a ton. Brian Reynolds striking out a ton. Brandon Lau. I think there's room for that to grow for what it's worth. Brandon Lau's had a ridiculous start to his season. 890 OPS. He got pinch hit for the other day. That made me very mad. But overall, he's been a higher than a 24% K rate guy. It is a change of scenery. It's a change of a team, different plate approach. Maybe Tampa said, swing away, Jack, like he's in Signs with the aliens. Doing whatever. Duran is continuing to lead off for the Red Sox. That's actually tilting to me. Dude sucks. Dude just sucks. Got Roman Anthony in the 3-hole today. All right, cool. Just wanted to work through that quick. But yeah, Jack Flaherty, we have the walks there, so we're going to move along. Move along like I know you do. Hunter Goodman, the only other bet. And then we got a ton of Pick'em. A lot of Pick'em. Need to get it going in the Pick'em streets. That's been the one bugaboo for me in the last month. Pick'em. Got to do it. So let's continue on our merry way. We got Brady Singer. And I mean, he just really has no strikeout stuff at the moment. None. Throws a sinker 50% of the time. Look at the whiff percentage on his sinker. Nothing. You're throwing that pitch half the time to major league hitters? Okay. Let me know how that goes for you. I'll answer for you. Not fucking well. Not well. So overall, slider sweeper, we could get that intertwined for him. We'd start to see some more swing and miss. These are pitches that I basically just write off his four-seam or cutter whenever I'm breaking him down. But these have some movement. They have some good spin. They have some good qualities. And I think that's backed up in the Stuff Plus. 6 splits off. No splits. This isn't gymnastics. 101 on the sinker. That's weird. But yeah, the slider, there you go. 122. If we could get that intertwined for him, life would become a lot better than a 14, yeah, you heard me, 14% K rate. This guy's routinely been like at least in the 20s. Only one season of a sub 20% K rate. And this year he's at 14.2%. Now, there are guys like Kevin Gausman who are starting to pitch more to contact. I know this because I have pain and suffering from him. But I've had pretty good results in the strikeout department to start off the season. And a lot of it is just looking year over year at what's changed. Now, Brady Singer, change of environment. You go to some of his seasons. With Kansas City, maybe having him pitch a little bit differently than what he has to do in Cincinnati. Because Cincinnati, you can't give up fly ball contact in that ballpark. You just can't. But pitching in PNC today, I think it's far more pick 'em viable than a bet, but I think it's interesting. And again, I think Brady Singer has decent stuff, and the results just haven't been there to start off this season. Now, it's gotten a little nuked over here, but the reason I'm saying more pick 'em viable, minus 122 there. You can see it's minus 120 best available at the books. So yeah, if you want to just say, well, I have Hard Rock and I can do that. Sweet, great, awesome, smashing, yay capitalism. But overall, every book is sitting north of the minus 125 number, and at minus 122, that's pick'em viable. It's going to be decent. Strikeout. All right. So we got Bush. We got everybody loves a good Bush, right? Especially in the 70s. Anyway, we're moving along our merry way, giving you some options too. I'm looking at that hits plus runs plus RBIs for Kevin McGonigle again. Thinking about it. But we got Keller. One thing that stood out to me last night on the short list, just to put another guy there, Steel 8. Hello, mommy. Oh, look at me. I'm plus 550, mommy. Oh. Interesting, right? Because this dude's on another planet. Now, a lot of this has to do with this. Not a great home run park, but wind's blowing out. Wind is blowing out. It's better than it typically is in PNC. And PNC routinely, whenever I pull up the leaderboards and we go to park factors and we go to right-handed, we update for a 3-year rolling simple, and we got PNC dead last. So I'm not saying that it's a great spot for Sal Stewart in terms of a ballpark, even with that wind blowing out. But comeback Keller, as I like to call him, but giving up some power to lefties, been better against righties for the most part, but you can see he's not really striking out either side. And Sal Stewart doesn't even give a fuck. Like, Sal Stewart is just here to fuck shit up. Sal Stewart, year over year, I mean, very, very small sample for him last year, 51 plate appearances, but routinely we're seeing launch. Routinely we're seeing him, be a guy who's going to strike out above average against righties. But he started to figure that out. We're getting launch. 7 homers against righties already. Should we bet Sal Stewart plus 550? I think we probably should. I think I like this even more than the plus 875 McGonigle. I think we should start getting some wagers down. I think we should start. Now, Ellie, if you bet Ellie De La Cruz today, please just don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Plus 500. Okay, that's not that bad, but we're here for value. We want value. I don't look at the board and say, who do I think is going to go yard? That's a dumb thing. But I think when Sal Stewart goes yard, which I think he does higher than a plus 550 clip. Now, do I want to bet that at Fanatics or at Bet365? Damn good, fine. I'll get my fan cash. I'm going to get my fan cash. Plus 550 for Sal Stewart. Done. Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours. So, plus 550. Feeling pretty good about that number, considering what we're seeing from him. Again, 7 home runs now. Decent launch. And again, the launch was even better last year. And against comeback Keller, I have no qualms about attacking him with righties as well. Not really striking him out at a crazy clip. Throwing a lot of garbage against the wall against lefties, trying to make it work. Now, lefties, the Ellie De La Cruzes of the world, the TJ Friedels of the world, who, hey, went yard yesterday, has a pulse. Fascinating. And Matt McClain, you need to start hitting homers again, buddy. This is getting dumb. You are getting dumb. 238 expected ISO. Sal Stewart has a better expected ISO against righties. 2 more homers against righties. Everything looks good. We got the Rangers lineup. I'm going to take a look at this as well. Let me just pull that up over on X and not have this tab open for absolutely no reason. Evan Carter batting second today. Holy shit. So they moved Young and I mean, they did a lot of maneuvering. Peterson had been cleanup, now batting fifth. Ozuna's up to 7. This is an interesting lineup. Interesting lineup for Jack Flaherty. Now, I'm all right with the walks. Nimmo's not a great walk guy for what it's worth, but Carter, Seager, Peterson, are we not? We don't have Josh Smith in the lineup. That's messed up. He hung like a horse. Interesting. Some fascinating shit. No Josh Smith in the lineup. He's been bad, so I get it. And Josh Young's one of your best young hitters. I get it. But Josh Smith, man. That's definitely, yeah. Maybe we try gloves. Maybe we try gloves like you're in college again. You get married, you don't have to worry about that shit anymore. That's always good. Cool. Latex is fun. We got ourselves so much more to get to, but we got a bet down. That makes me happy. It makes me very happy. And Brady Singer, we talked about his under strikeouts. Nothing else that really stood out to me. Ellie De La Cruz, I thought was okay for hits plus runs plus RBIs. Tyler Stevenson, this is obviously appealing, but his lineup order continues to be aids. And Will Benson, pinch hit home run. I don't know. I expect better things than this for Will Benson. Will Benson, generally a smasher of baseballs. Don't know what happened to that this year. Broski. We got to figure life out a little bit better. We got Nate Lowe. What was that? How do you feel about Nate Lowe? He's been hitting the ball really hard. Been okay. I just don't think he's going to be a 595 expected slugging guy. I don't think he's going to hit for this kind of power. I really don't. He's always been good in this department. Been all right. North of the 40% number. Again, league average is sitting right around, 37%? 37% league average. So, routinely above average, but got 1 year where he was really, really effective in that. I got to think. Let's look at some of his expected home run numbers by ballpark. Something tells me PNC is not going to treat him, or I guess anybody else, very well. Kind of look at some of the expected numbers. So you can see all of his hard hit balls. He'd have 1 homer if he played at target field. That is not surprising when they have a massive behemoth wall just set up there to fail. If you don't loft it, you cannot hit home runs out of target field as a lefty. Where's PNC? Yeah. That's really rough, man. That's really rough. He is definitely a product of his ballpark so far. Most people are the playing Cincy, so I understand. And, if he played in Philly, Citizen Bank, he'd be looking pretty good too. But the only ballpark where he'd have 6 home runs, and it happens to be the one he's playing in. Shout out Cincinnati. Play to your ballpark, man. Play to your ballpark. Have players that fit the profile so that they get fully paid off and you get fully paid off in your investment. Just fine. Yeah. Get low like an 18-oiler. Overall, though, O'Neill Cruz, Ryan O'Hearn, they look all right today, but they're going to look all right a lot of times. There's at least a lot of real estate in PNC. Find some places, but been good against barrels for the most part, but this is more of a bet on Sal Stewart. And obviously, we expect Mitch Keller to not have a 3% barrel percentage. Yeah. For his career, he's been dead average in MLB. Dead average. So the fact that he hasn't given up a lot of righty power doesn't really affect me when you have a guy like Sal Stewart up there. Starting to get some more lineups rolling in as we're going to talk about the games. We got the Miz coming up next against Washington, and we have seen Washington offensively do some damn shit against righties. Washington, 92 WRC plus, but 145 ISO is starting to creep up there. Now, it's only a 20th, but like we expected this Washington team to be in the cellar. And there's no question who the two guys are that have done it. James Wood and CJ Abrams. Abrams has been awesome this year. One of the best shortstop prospects in a long time. And, you know, San Diego departed with him. Let me just say, would you rather have CJ Abrams or Fernando Tatis on your baseball team? I know this sounds insane, but I would much rather have CJ Abrams. Much rather have it. For the next 5 years, 10 years, CJ Abrams over Fernando Tatis. Is Tatis still homerless? Is he still homerless? I haven't looked in a while because I don't give a fuck. But I just don't. I mean, bro. When your OBP is higher than your slugging, we're probably in a bad state for a guy who's making infinity dollars. Batting run value, horrendous. Yeah, 0 homers. 0 home runs. That's bad. I'm just going to throw that out there. Nothing crazy about that take. Yeah, I mean, you would have been insane saying that coming into this season, let me say. You would have absolutely been insane. Like you said, Lindy, launch angle is everything. I mean, I guess, you know, you find your religion, and my religion is loft angle in baseball. Should we be targeting Littell today? Yeah. Should we always be? It's Cole Irvin, though. It's not Littell. Littell's there. He's not pitching. Jake Irvin's pitching, so. Littell would be your highest, like, well, actually, no, there's one guy, Matthew Liberatore, who we'll talk about, who has a higher home run per 9. But overall, Jake Irvin, I've never been a fan. I will never forget. I'll never forget the shit that I got from Washington. He was having like one revelatory season. And I was just like, yeah, I just really don't find anything all that impressive about Jake Irvin. And they came for my head. They wanted me fired. They wanted me off the airwaves. They tried to cancel me in 2024 because of Jake Irvin. Because this guy, Jake Irvin, apparently has more fans than I do. So that's cool. I don't know how. Who likes Jake Irvin for Washington? Finding some more strikeouts, but man, he gives up some hard contact. Man, is his expected numbers horrendous. And if that curveball is ever off, because again, the curveball is good. Flat out fucking good. Okay? I'll say the curveball is good. Problem is, you need to get the curveball in the zone now, especially with ABS. And if you're not setting this pitch up, everything else is a waste. Everything else. Some decent stuff, I suppose, on the slider, but overall, you go to like, I mean, basically anything that has to do with him. Swinging strike rate, that's fine, but that's not a guy who's going to have a 26% strikeout rate long term. Like, it's just not. So, I don't know. I feel like Jake Irvin's somebody you can attack every day. And Nationals Park is one of the better hitting environments that we've got on the slate. Wind out. Does the thing want to just stick? There we go. Fucking bitch. All right, here we go. We got ourselves 6% home run surplus in this ballpark, 8% in all of MLB. But yeah, the wind direction in itself. I think the Miz is actually alive for some attacking too. Now, the Miz is very good. It's really price and probability. And I just keep seeing Abrams popping every damn day for me. Every damn day, CJ Abrams. It's like, I can't click on this guy. And I haven't clicked on it for what it's worth. But let me tell you, my model loves CJ Abrams. He's been insane this entire year. I just don't believe that we're going to have a guy who should be plus 630 against Miz here. But I'll tell you somebody that I do. Luis Garcia. Where's he at? Oh my God, this is killing me. Let's pull up Washington. Let's pull up the game. Because it's the accent mark, right? That's what's fucking it up. Oh, he's just not listed for some reason. He's in the lineup. So riddle me that, Batman. Literally DHing. Literally DHing. And I don't know why that person has the Batman thing there, but literally DHing. We got Curtis Mead there, first base, but I took a look at Garcia last night, and I liked what I saw. Dalen Lyle, I would buy stock on Dalen Lyle long-term. He's still 21. I've bet him one time for homer. I've bet him a number of times earlier in the season, hits plus runs plus RBIs. And I think even when he was like, quote unquote, slumping there for a tiny bit, like the Dodgers series into, what was the series after it that I bet him again? But the numbers went down on him across the board. And like, we were getting plus 125 on him, and he's at like plus 110 every day now. And it's untouchable. Like, it's perfectly efficient. Like, perfectly efficient. So it is what it is. As someone who used to live in DC, DC fans aren't quite as defensive as other cities. So fiery defenders of bad athletes. Why are they fiery defenders of him and Terry McLaurin? And like, Terry McLaurin's good, but they don't need to defend him. Jake Irvin, but he's still cheeks. Correct. That is the correct take. Weatherholt looks so good against fastball. Maybe I'm missing something. Why are the odds so high? We'll get there. Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah, dude. Tatis is just broken. Tatis doesn't know how to loft a baseball. You can't hit home runs. You can't hit home runs unless you loft a baseball. You have to loft a baseball. You got to use the lob wedge. You can't hit stinger 2 irons. You can't do it. You can hit the ball as hard as you fucking want. You have to loft a baseball. Dalen Lyle singles machine. I think this kid is really good. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I would buy a lot of stock in the Dalen Lyle department. I think we're going to talk about Dalen Lyle being one of the best hitters in baseball in like 2-3 years. Maybe not in terms of, he's not going to be a 30 jack guy. But I really do think Dalen Lyle will be batting title worthy Dalen Lyle. Like, I could see him being a guy. Like, I could see Dalen Lyle hitting 320 for a season. I really could. I think he's very talented. 23 years old, still young. He's hit some no-doubters, too, this year. I mean, look at this shot. Look at this shot against Logan Webb. Bye. That was murdered. That is a deep portion of that ballpark. You can see it looked closer than what it was. That was an absolute cannon off of Logan Webb. Logan Webb gave up a cannon as well to Kyle Schwarber yesterday. Yeah, boy was on that one. But Logan Webb has one problem, and can't wait to talk about Logan Webb one day. I think I've got the Logan Webb equation figured out. I bet a plus 320 home run. I very rarely bet anything inside of plus 350. Maybe should have made it a half unit, Eric. Maybe should have made it a half unit. Maybe should have done that. Oh, yeah, promo code double. You guys can check that out for the Lindy and Friends Discord. Still rocking, still rolling. And then 7-day free trial. 7-day free trial of Odd Chopper, as well as 30% off. Promo code LindyOS down at the link below. If you enjoy these tools that I'm sharing on screen as we're working through the odds, man, they are good. Man, they are good. I use them every single day. They help me find every single play that I put in anything I fire is coming off of this odd screen. Every single play. Doesn't mean that I'm necessarily in alignment with the edge, because again, when you top down, that's going to be the edge here. When you're bottom up and you're originating, it's going to look a little bit different. But you best believe I find everything on this odd screen. every single day. 7 days free to be able to try it. If you don't like it, we'll refund your money. $0. You want a $0 refund? Okay. Garrett Mitchell is just fucking nuts. It's nuts. It's nuts to me. And I get it. Leading off, I get it. Let's get off of my boy Lee, who I haven't even bet on anything yet this year. Don't even think I've said his name on a program, but then again, I haven't been on for 2 weeks. So when did I have a chance to? Let's pull up what did I want? Live scoreboard. There we go. So your projected lineup for the Brewers, Garrett Mitchell leading off. Okay. Bryce Trang makes me want to drink acid. This guy makes me actually want to drink acid. I have not gotten Bryce Trang home run right, but guess what? He has hit at least 4 balls of like 370 feet for doubles in every single one that I've bet him in. He hit 2. What 2 days ago I bet him? He hit 2 doubles. It was like 720 feet of accumulated fucking hard hit on 2 balls. There were doubles that just made me want to drink battery acid. I think they had decent launch on him too. Whatever. It's 3-1. Yeah, I'm going to really regret not betting this over. Guys, it was Zach Gallen versus Colin Ray. I get that it was the apocalypse with weather. I get it. But I'm very mad at myself. Oh, what happened to Nico? You get hurt? Also, is this the best pinch hitting guy who can't make a lineup in baseball? Guy's hitting 300 with a couple of jacks, and he can't break the lineup every day for the Cubs. It's insane. The Cubs are so talented. 19-12. I mean, this division got horny. This division got really horny. Did it not? Look how horny this division is. This is a horny-ass division. Every team above 500. Cardinals have just played outrageously good baseball. Cubs, they're talented. They're the most talented team in this division. And Cincinnati, they have a rabbit's foot up their ass. If it's Nate Lau, if it's Ellie De La Cruz, from the right side this season, starting to figure it out. Unbelievable stuff. Truly incredible stuff. But the more I look into it, yeah, we'll get into that later. We got ourselves Jake Bauers, who looks awesome today. He looks awesome every day to me. Bryce Terang looks awesome today, looks awesome every day. And Garrett Mitchell, again, insane. Insane that Garrett Mitchell is a guy that we're getting at minus 115 here. There is pinch hit risk with him that doesn't exist for Terang. Bauers is even done with it. I said once Rhys Hoskins was gone, Jake Bauers is going to be your everyday first baseman. You got Tyler Black out there. The suit is not black. He's out DHing, living his life. Greg Jones, insane pinch hit risk on him every day. But Garrett Mitchell, this guy strikes out a ton, but this is why he's leading off. 19.2% walk rate. Between Sanchez, Mitchell, and Trang, they are just OBA monsters. OBA monsters. And Garrett Mitchell, I couldn't ever in a million years get to his home run number today. I really don't understand. I saw like ballpark battle, like there's some shit too. Somebody asked me about Garrett Mitchell in my DMs because that's the life I live. But if you bet Garrett Mitchell at plus 550, please quit betting baseball. But that being said, I think his hits plus runs plus RBIs is pretty live. And now he's going to absolutely hit a jack. Me, every day. I'm here to I like Terang for a hit. He walks twice with a stolen base. Man, that's a very, very exacting box score. You are very confident in very unconfident things. But if that ends up being the exact box score, let me know, and I will get you a free month of the Lindy Discord. Because that'd be cool. If you just predicted his box score to a T. But Garrett Mitchell, very pick'em viable. Very, 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 very pick 'em viable. 1.5. Think it's one of the better squares out there. I've got him closer to minus 135. So that's good. It's almost like attacking Jake Irvin is a good thing to do. And let's look at a Bauer outage too. Oh my God. Oh my God. Want another bet? Would you like another bet? I would. I mean, that's like half unit off the bat. Jake Bauers over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs going to the BetMGM streets for a Bauer outage. I bet Jake Bauers a lot. For a guy who I couldn't recognize on the street, there's no way I could recognize. There's no way you know what Jake Bauers looks like. He looks like the most Midwestern, pleasant human being. Look at this. Look at this fucking nerd. Look at this nerd. You would not recognize him as a baseball player. He's 6 feet tall, 216. Shorter than me, little bitch. Making a lot more money than me, so there's that. Man, Jake Bauers is random. But man, Jake Bauers hits baseballs. Specifically right-handed baseballs. Specifically everything just, I bet this guy a lot, as you should. Probably hasn't been on the card in 2 weeks because I would remember. All I've had to do is, keep another human alive and bet baseball and basketball. We've been betting some basketball. We'll get into some basketball. You love basketball? I love basketball. We all love basketball. But my Timberwolves. Also, it's time to switch this out. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, brother. Oh. We are full out degenerate today. Daddy's acting out. Dad is acting out. All right. We got Bryce Terang, Garrett Mitchell. Can't get close to those Terang prices, but Bryce Terang to hit a home run. Anybody else feel like some torture in their lives? I do. Should not be plus 625. BetMGM, I'm going to get all the money today. Fucking narcs. Because in life, women are the rake. They're the fucking rank. Nobody says that. Nobody says that. That's Rounders. Almost put $125 on that. That would have been bad. That would have been bad. That would have been suboptimal. Lindy, we missed you in your random corner. It's like the Breyer reference right there. You the goat. Thank you. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Actually, we'll keep it backwards. So going good. Yo, Lindy, you ever going to bet hockey? I bet hockey every day, but I just tail people over on tails like B Grebs. Let's see if B Grebs has anything for my guy. J Metal, you got anything in hockey? I literally just click on B Grebs' name and then I bet whoever the fuck he puts in this box. I just type in the name and I bet it. It's a pretty easy way to live your life. But yeah, this guy has been scorched earth. He lives and dies by the puck. That's a very cool wizard. That's a lot of tails in one screenshot. Look at these idiots. Look at these idiots with the foam fingers. Those are like middle fingers too. I don't think you can get that through security. But that's a cool glove. Tails. Hockey stick tails. Jersey tails. Shooting on his own team. That's wild. But my guy B Grebs. I don't know what a Pavel Dorofeyev is. But that's cool. We like it. We've got 125 people watching on YouTube. We got over 450 people watching on X right now. If you could hit that like button, if you enjoy this content, if you enjoy finding bets with me, we've got a couple that we've now fired up. Got a couple down on this program. We got some more to go. We got some time, and we'll get into the NBA streets at the end. But Sal Stewart got added. Jake Bowers, we like it. We love it. We don't want any more of it than a half unit. And Bryce trying to go, yeah. Plus 550, plus 625. Guys, don't just bet the likely guys to hit home. Plus 300 can be positive EV. Shohei Ohtani today. We're about to talk about the Dodgers in a hot second. You best believe I like stuff from the Dodgers today. Oh, do I like stuff from the Dodgers? But like Schwarber, I bet him yesterday at plus 320. You're paying tax on completely different spots now. I got to take Brewers Nationals off. I do not like plus 290 against Yuri Perez in Miami. We're going from Citizens Bank facing, talent-wise, Yuri Perez is better than Logan Webb. Logan Webb is maybe a better pitcher long-term. But this is a very difficult spot. And sure, he can go yard. Plus 300 just popped on BetMGM as I'm talking about it. But Kyle Schwarber ain't it today, friends. You're not making money long-term betting Kyle Schwarber at plus 290 in Marlins Park or in Lone Depot because they're fucking idiots and changed their names. Whatever. Nope, I don't analyze NHL. You're very good at it. Awesome. Let me know because I love just get some bet tracking going. Let's get this going. If you can fire that up, get on tails, and life is great. That would make me very happy. Libertor over 2.5 pick 'em viable. Yeah, probably. Let's take a look. I might just skip to that game because I actually have a boner for it. Very pick 'em viable. Very pick 'em viable, this Libertor fellow. He needs to pay for his sins. He has sinned against the Father, Son, and the Holy Ohtani, and he must pay for his sins. Now, is this a great ballpark? No, it's AIDS. And I actually want to go to the left side for this because we're about to talk about a weird split. This is why you watch an MLB research show. People talk about platoon and they just randomly throw this out and that out, and they don't really know what they're talking about because they haven't actually put in the work and they don't know what's predictive and what's not. They don't know why something is happening. And if I don't know why something's happening, I'm usually excited because I'm going to learn something or I get to pay attention to something. I get to throw out tests. I get to be like, hey, let's pay attention to this. It's the same thing I'm doing with Lee right now on the Detroit side. I don't know when, I don't know how, but you best believe we're going to make some money on that asshole this season. Actually, he's a lovely person, it looks like. He's a big, chubby Asian guy. We all like that. It's like the most lovable person. Murakami might be the most lovable person in the history of baseball. It's just an awesome dude. There's this amazing mix that somebody put together. I got to go find that on X. Holy shit, Murakami. Power, responsibility, lots of good things going on with him. But Libertor, definitely pick 'em viable. Let's skip to that game, shall we? So, home runs, righties, Cardinals, Busch Stadium, awful. Sorry, lefties, excuse me. Lefties. Awful for lefty power. And you look at Dodger Stadium, Uniqlo Field at Dodger Stadium, because, everything needs a brand now. And Uniqlo gave a lot of money, came over with their overseas dollars and said, here you are. And the Dodgers said, thank you. This is now Uniqlo Field at Dodger Stadium, which is stupid. But let's get into Libertor, who generally has been a ground ball guy in his career. You go to launch angle, and even though this launch angle is generally up, we've seen him around a 47% ground ball percentage to left-handed hitters, which is generally something you'd look at and say, there's no way we can get to home runs against this guy, right? Very, very wrong, my friends. Very, very wrong. We look at home runs per 9 on this slate. Number 1 is Matthew Libertor. O'Regans, Marquez, Burrows, Quintana, a lot of names that we would expect. Simeon Woods Richardson also could be a pinata today. Yuri Perez is actually up there against Kyle Schwarber, so I just got done singing Yuri Perez's praises, and he's on the upper echelon of home runs, but let me just say, Yuri Perez, very talented pitcher. We know that to be true. Matthew Liberatore, I don't think he's talented at anything, especially not pitching. Look at this against lefties. So want to go to his batted balls because this is very interesting to me. Matthew Liberatore, 47.8% ground ball percentage. That's really good against lefties. He is left-handed. You'd expect it to be up there, right? So that's cool. But what happens when the ball does go in the air? Look at his home run to fly ball ratio against lefties. When it gets hit in the air, it is gone over half the time. Insane. It is insane. Look at his home runs per 9. Again, we're splitting this by lefties, okay? Matthew Liberatore, number 1 on the slate. Michael Harris is on my short list as well. We're going to talk about him against Quintana. Cole Reagan's left on left. We've attacked him with lefties. We did that in Yankee Stadium. That went well. Actually, I don't think it did. That was the Ben Rice day. Ben Rice went yard. Yeah. Had $50 on it, and then I fucking canceled that bet and made it a quarter, and of course Ben Rice goes yard. But Matthew Liberatore, 5.4 home runs per 9 to lefties. There are 2 very obvious left-handers that we want to be paying attention to. One is Shohei Ohtani. I think it's a little too short for me. If you have a boost, boy, does Ohtani look good for a boost. Plus 360 over on BetMGM right now. My boy today is Freddie Freeman. I think my boy today is Freddie Freeman. Plus 700. It was plus 720 a second ago over on DK. There's plus 715 at ProfitX if you have access to that. Awesome. But Freddie Freeman is going to make Matthew Liberatore pay for his sins. I'm getting plus 700 on Freddie Freeman, 2/3 at bats against this idiot. I miss you, ProfitX. I miss you. You're beautiful no matter what they say. Words can't bring you down. Homer for Freddie Freeman. Plus 700. Again, I'm not here trying to recognize who is or isn't going yard. Otherwise, I'd just bet Schwarber, Ohtani, Cal Raleigh. I'd have one of those ridiculous parlays that you see on X all the fucking time. Because if I'm trying to hit one 3-leg home run parlay of the day, I just want to have the most likely home run guys, right? But that's not going to pay you out long-term, and you're not going to make money long-term doing that. We're looking for value. And I don't think you can find better value based on what I just showed you on this screen than Freddie Freeman at plus 700. Now, from a market-based perspective, doesn't look the best. Again, there's some shit littered out here. People trying to snag plus 826. Go fuck yourself, San Diego. Plus 847. Go fuck yourself, ProfitX. Like, really? Hell in a handbasket. He's like on the verge, for me, of being like, pick 'em. Like, I know plus 550 seems insanely short. I have him inside of plus 525 today. Freddie Freeman. I just don't see how what we're looking at from Liberatore with this ridiculous amount of power that he's getting up to lefties. And this isn't some new phenomenon. This isn't some small sample size deal. This is legitimately real. Now, 135 expected ISO was way better last season. But this year, there are just massive issues that he has to lefties with this slider. It is hanging, it is not moving, and it is just sitting there on a platter like it's on a tee. Now, he strikes out lefties at a higher clip. You would kind of expect that. And not that righties like a Will Smith aren't viable. Teoscar Hernandez, noted killer of the left-handed variety, even though having an atrocious year. But Freddie Freeman has a 223 expected ISO against lefties. Only one homer this year in 33 plate attempts. 33 plate attempts isn't that good. But you're telling me I get plus 700 on him in this spot against Liberatore? In a ballpark that's not good for lefties by any means. But the price is accounting for it. And we're getting a little bit of wind coming out there for us. 3 miles per hour, negligible. 62 degrees, pretty negligible. Cooler than I would want it to be, but at plus 700, man, too good. You take Freddie Freeman, 5.5 fantasy score. I think it's okay. I don't like that as much because you're talking that being minus 115 on underdog. 5.5 at minus 115 is okay. I think you can do better. I think you can do a little bit better. But for the price, a home run for Freddie Freeman is incredible. It's incredible. So that's what the MLB research show is about. Talking you through situations. Because a 47% ground ball rate, you could very easily, Freddie Freeman could very easily hit 2 ground balls. Everything I'm saying sounds ridiculous, and I look like an idiot. But if you gave me 7 games versus Matthew Liberatore, I'm getting a homer in one of them from Freddie Freeman at a break-even number. I'm getting at least 1 homer, probably 2. And that is just smashing long-term. Plus 525, plus 515 is where it is exactly for me. And I'm getting plus 700, getting nearly $2 of value. Man, that looks good. Good luck finding that at plus 300 with Ohtani. Plus 360 looks all right for what it's worth. We're talking Shohei frickin' Ohtani after all. But we bet Freddie Freeman against Eric Lauer. That's his 1 home run against a lefty this season. I don't just bet to bet. I bet to win money. And I can tell you exactly when that Freddie Freeman home run was because we bet it. There's certain times you just bet him against lefties where he is way undervalued because it just is. I can tell that it is because of the way that it is. Let's see if we can hit his hits spray chart right off the bat. I think it was this one. Nope. Oh, those are the doubles. We want the homer. That's this. For sure it's this. Oh, it's Fleming. Put off a lefty. Fleming. It was Fleming. It's fine. No big deal. I remember it was in Toronto, and I remember it being against a lefty. I think Lauer started that game off. But anyway. Neither here nor there. Freeman 1.5 total bases. I think that is probably more of my flavor. Plus 130 at bet 365. Damn good fine. You could sock it to me one more time with that. Do not play it at Pick'em. Do not play it at Pick'em. Do not play Freddie Freeman at Pick'em. They're 2 different bets. They're 2 different bets. We're talking about a home run probability, and we're talking about hits plus runs plus RBIs or total bases. Like, these are just different bets. They're different bets. They're trying to extract different things. You want to get paid the full when you're right about the specific category. Bases, I can get behind for Freeman. I cannot get behind it on Pick'em because minus 22 is a ridiculous price for it. That being said, Matt Olson, let's start talking about Coors. Time for Coors. Time for Coors. We got Holmes, we got Quintana, baby. Grant Holmes, Jose Quintana. You might have noticed Jose Quintana also up here on this lefty list. Just saying. One thing that also I think needs to be emphasized, when you have a Liberatore, or a Quintana, or a Ragans, or just baseball in general, there's going to be more righties that exist, and you're going to have more right-handed, like you have more right-handed pitchers, you have more right-handed batters, you have all of that stuff. So teams will generally have their weaker hitters that'll still be in against a lefty. You're going to get Miguel Rojas out there today. You're going to get, who else? Alex Call, even though would I say he's a weak hitter? No. Maybe weaker in terms of hard hit, but he's a good major league hitter, and he walks a ton. But you got Atlanta, you got Colorado, And Jose Quintana, the lefties that he does face are generally better. Does that make sense? Like, the lefties that a good pitcher is going to have to face when they're left-handed are generally good lefties. Ohtani, Freeman, Tucker, like good left-handed hitters. Let's talk about a good left-handed hitter. Let's talk about Michael Harris. Because right now, not in the projected lineup. I'm really hoping that they change their mind on that. Because I think Michael Harris, Drake Baldwin, Matt Olson, these guys could really wreak havoc. And Eli White has been so good that I think you have to play him. Like, Eli White has been legitimately good against lefties. But in the grand scheme of things, I'd still like to see Michael Harris in this lineup very, very badly. He's in the projected lineup here. Okay. I would like to see Michael Harris very badly in against Jose Quintana. Don't even have a number out there for him. Be great. Might have to play it live. F it, we'll do it live. There he is. Plus 550. We've got edge from a market-based perspective. And we can walk through some of the individual factors. Again, Add More Funds is not taking into account the fact that Michael Harris is red hot. I don't care about him being red hot for what it's worth. I care that he just gets in the damn lineup batting 7th or better. If he gets in the lineup batting 7th or better, Michael Harris will be on this damn card. Might be there in a number of ways. Plus 120 for 1.5 total bases in Coors. I get that Coors, the wind is not very helpful today. The wind is not helpful to anything. There it is. There we go. You can see. You guys can see this. That arrow is going this way, but it's only 7 miles per hour. And for the ballpark, it's playing neutral for home runs relative to the rest of MLB. For the park, playing worse. But I want to bet Michael Harris bases very badly. I want to bet them very badly against Quintana. Giving up a lot of power to lefties. 305 expected ISO this season. Very small sample there. But you go back to last season. 171 expected ISO, 200 expected ISO. Did a better job in the ISO department, isolated power, against righties than he did against lefties. Now, 362 x WOBA, not great. Not great. 308 x WOBA against lefties, better. Better-ish. But I got to tell you, Michael Harris just stands out like a sore thumb to me today. His hits plus runs plus RBIs are sexy naughty as well. Not pick 'em viable, obviously not even available anywhere because he looks that good in that department. We're at Coors Field after all. Not that shocking. But there's a lot of ways that I think Michael Harris has utility on your MLB card today, mainly in the total bases department. Just going to make sure he ends up in the lineup before I pull the trigger there. Somebody just bet this as we're talking about it because it just went plus 120 to plus 110. Shout out the real ones. I forgot. When you're on these streams, you nuke things immediately. But FanDuel, traditionally sharper book, they're only giving a one-way market at the moment. That's annoying. Is he's not minus 125. I would never bet him at minus 125, but at plus 110, I sure damn would. And I sure damn might. Sure damn might. Very interested to see how this lineup comes out. I don't think you'd have Yastrzemski in there. I don't think you're going to have a Dom Smith in there, even though based on what I'm looking at for Quintana, I wouldn't hate it, but they're not going to do it. Those guys don't bat a lot against lefties in general, so probably not a great opportunity for them. Such a D move to Lindy, whoever does that every time. Hey, we're talking through it. Should be allowed. Should be allowed. It's all right. It's okay. I was getting worried. I'm here. Hello. I had a baby. Well, I didn't have a baby. That's physically impossible, even though some people would call me a pussy. So thankful Lindy's back. Thank you, John Lewis. It's so good. Can we start looking at round robins next week? Maybe. We need to find the perfect temperature. So the round robin home runs, which again, if you've been in the Discord for a couple of years, people love them because when they pop, they really, really pop. And we've had a lot of success with those in the past. We got to get like a 95-degree day in St. Louis, or we got to get, a bandbox in New York. We got to get something where we can back the back half of the lineup at prices that make sense and just snipe them early. Generally, I'm posting those really early in the morning when it's like, oh shit, we need to bet this, and I'd rather make each one $1, $2, $3, and have like $150 of a round robin there amongst like 8 different hitters. And also, FanDuel hates, as you have to like put everything in on its own now. It's just really annoying, but whatever. Michael Harris dealing with a hamstring. Pinch runner risk late in the game. Yeah, if he's on base, hopefully after a double. What's your read on Roman Anthony? Pick him viable. Very pick him viable. He's on my short list on pick him. I generally do a lot of work on these. And even though the results have not been what I would want them to be in pick 'em so far this year, I feel pretty good about the process. Now, minus 110, a better bet now, but I've been staring at it as an underdog square. Batting third, sandwiched between a number of good pieces, and Ballpark's playing okay for today. I think it's playing better than what Ballpark Pal would want to tell you. And again, I think he does great work for what it's worth. I'm not saying that is like a I know better thing. What I'm saying is that I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I'm saying that I think the weather looks better there than what it was being. Yeah. Looks really good for home runs. Boston is not a good ballpark for lefty power. Fenway is not a good ballpark for lefty power. 3-year rolling average, lefties, 4th worst for home runs. So the fact that it's playing up for home runs, useful for Willie or Abreu. Also, Mike Burrows, he's basically off speed. All he does is throw changeups all the live long day until he's blue in the face. Been pretty good with that pitch. Pretty atrocious with everything else thrown to lefties. Pretty atrocious. Look at these ex-wobas on everything else in play. 280 ex-woba for the changeup. Now he's throwing the changeup the most. He needs to. He has no fastball. You go to Savant here. Because again, Mike Burrows has a superpower. And he's starting to get some swing and miss for what it's worth. I think we could see that coming. I didn't know when. I didn't know how. But Houston went out and got him for a reason. And what's his situation there? So we go here. Burrows. 1-year option. Okay. But yeah, came by way of Pitt. And I mean, this is just a disturbing group of guys. Kai-Wei Tang, he's, somebody that I burned a little bit of money trying to chase his strikeouts at like 3.5 the other day at plus money. He only went 2 innings. That was a little frustrating. I thought he could potentially go 3 or 4. Actually, I think he went 3. He went 3 innings. So hindsight, I still don't hate it. But a reliever turned, they're going to lengthen him out and try to stretch him out a little bit now with all the injuries they've had. Because they got Tatsuda coming back at some point soon. He had his arm die on him in Seattle, so that seems bad. But they have Peter Lambert there, formerly of Colorado. Has some pedigree, but Lance McCullers, him healthy, and Spencer Arrighetti, if you can keep the ball in the yard. Mike Burrows is a nice addition. Like, Mike Burrows, I'm not going to say sucks, because he doesn't. He's just all changeup, all off-speed run value. No fastball whatsoever. Nothing. Getting bludgeoned with that pitch this year. You don't see 1,000 slugging 5 homers very often here for guys. Throwing it 26% of the time, but just everything he's doing is trying to set up off speed. Get ahead in counts, and then do that. I feel like it sometimes. Lindy, where you been, bro? Here, actually, just not on streams. Wifey had a baby. It's mine. And yeah, we're going to continue on. Burrows will allow runs for sure. Yeah, it's just an interesting spot because guys like Roman Anthony should be able to get the ball in play. But what else happens here? Because Mike Burrows is starting to generate some swing and miss. The changeup's been pretty good there, and against righties, very effective. And they have Duran. I said it was a little frustrating because I didn't want to have Duran leading off. Didn't want him leading off, but here he is, leading off. I think the under is actually kind of the interesting play on Duran. Plus 120. I'll look at that after, but yeah, it's one of those things. We'll go to the pregame here too, because I don't need to see anything from the Cubs game. Let's take a look at Abreu. I can't imagine. He doesn't end up on the card for me in anything but home runs generally. It's close. Probably on the outside looking in. There's a lot of other guys that I think I prefer, Michael Harris being one, if he makes that lineup. I have a lot of interest in guys going up against German Marquez today as well, but hard for me to really want to pull the trigger on Willer Abreu even plus 500, which is annoying because it's a fly ball pitcher who doesn't have great fastballs, and you'd think that'd be right up Willer Abreu's alley. It's a lot of righties in this lineup. A lot more righties than you would think. We got Durbin, Narvaez, Rafaela, Story, Contreras. Five righties. 1, 2, 3, 4 lefties. It's Bro's strikeout prop. More of a parlay piece if you don't want to be paying heavy vig. Definitely don't want 5.5. I was hoping we'd get a 4.5 that was somewhat reasonable. We're not getting a 4.5 that is somewhat reasonable. Pretty close from a market-based perspective, but I mean, that's just a lot more righties than I would think they would be rolling out, considering Mike Burrows. Lefties, righties, lefties, righties. It's a big strikeout rate against righties. He's been very good against righties. 216 ex-WOBA. The bottom half of that lineup is Garbaggio. Story, Narvaez, Rafaela. Contreras strikes out a bunch. I mean, man, I'm talking myself into some Burrows. I think Roman Anthony, viable on the over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Willer Abreu outside looking in on the home runs, but the thing that I think might end up being my favorite now is Mike Burrows. Just the way this Boston lineup came out. You don't have Yoshida, who would be a killer. You don't have Kiner Falefa, who much lower strikeout rate or K rate. I mean, him and Marcelo Meyer doesn't strike out at all, but he doesn't really have any power either. Connor Wong instead of Narvaez. I mean, there might be something I parlay that with. I'll see if there's any boosts over on DK or something. Minus 150. This is somewhat interesting. Mike Burrows is starting to piece together how to be a major league pitcher. He's figuring it out as he goes. Now, he's had some spots where he's gotten bludgeoned. I mean, pitching in Coors doesn't look great. Seattle's a very viable offense, even a good ballpark, even though it's a good ballpark to pitch in. But St. Louis has been good. Yankees have been good. Angels lineup overall, I know that they're not all that successful when you look at it on the aggregate, but 167 expected ISO, 167 actual ISO, 104 WRC plus against right-handed pitching. Those are some tough spots. He was getting some swing and miss. Starting to generate strikeouts, 8 and 7 the last two. Let's look at his alt line, 5.5. Let's take a look at it. All right, plus 142. I'm gonna fire this up. Even if, we just look at circa plus 150. Fuck. Let's all go to Nevada. Let's go to Vegas. I think my wife would approve. My wife wants me to be happy, right? Whores and circa in Vegas. Let's go. That was a joke, by the way. I love my wife. Plus 142. We're just going to put quarter on it. I was going to make it a parlay piece, but that's just a really bad back half of the lineup. Wouldn't you agree? I would. These are why getting lineups out and being able to look at it is very, very important. Is there anything to mine out of Corbin versus the Twins? Not really. I looked at his 2.5 earned runs. Corbin's not the gas can he was 2 years ago, but he's not good. Just really sucks. Actually, I do have one play that is insane that I think actually makes a ton of sense. You ready for this? You ready? Austin Martin double. This is not a market that I go into very frequently, but this is what happens when you have a kid. You start going into the doubles market and being like, Austin Martin's an interesting number. Plus 375 for Austin Martin. Not a ton of edge there, right? But you're not really in jeopardy of Austin Martin running around the base paths very hard. And you are getting some of the best at-bats from Austin Martin. If you've been watching Twins baseball this year, this guy is a pest to starting pitchers. He is truly vermin for these fuckers. This guy, Austin Martin, is just very, very good. We have one homer, and boy, this was a slingshot. Bye-bye. Slingshot. So that's cool. But otherwise, this guy's going to start hitting a lot more doubles. And he's not really getting priced like he's going to hit a lot of doubles. He has 20 hits in 64 at-bats. Pretty good clip, 313. So we're getting the ball in play. And he's not fast enough to turn doubles into triples, really. I don't think he has a triple on the year. Yeah, 0 triples on the year. Had one once upon a time. Barely remember him there last year. And in 2024, I remember when he got called up because there were some people that I know of that were actually excited. And I said, let's put our boners away. It's Austin Martin. He has no power. And generally when a guy isn't going to hit a lot of jacks at the AAA, like at the minor league level, people don't get this excited about a guy. But yeah, he basically was hitting no home runs. 1 homer, 2025, 2024, 1 homer. But the doubles, I think, are very live. I think they're going to start coming at a higher clip than currently being projected. And he's batting second the whole time. There's a lot of guys like Sal Perez. He doesn't really run enough to turn a single into a double. He's like fast enough. Austin Martin is fast enough where it works out for you. Now, I will say a couple of things. One, this is not a market I bet a lot because it's very, very high vig. 2, getting punished, like total bases. You bet Austin Martin's total bases. You're looking doubles, triples, homers, like you're putting all of the big combos and you're taking into account 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits. Like we're putting them all together, like all those great box scores. And that's what you're paying the price for. We're betting a very specific market for very specific reasons. He doesn't hit the ball hard, and he's fast enough to turn some singles in the gap into doubles, but he's not fast enough to punish you with triples. Like Buxton can punish you. Keishel can punish you for like a ball that really finds a gap or finds an opportunity. Like a lot of the doubles you're getting from Martin are like little shallow dribblers that get by the third baseman. I think we can actually show that on screen too. Look at his hit spray chart. Look at this shit. Double, double, double. Look at these doubles. So how do you adjust? I mean, you're projecting out his odds for getting a double every day. It's just that it's hard to win at it long term because look at this. 5.5% hold. This is 9% synthetic hold on something named a Shea Whitcomb for Houston. 5.6, 6.5, 5.5. Like, this is synthetic hold. We're getting huge gaps. Minus 900 plus 525. What is this? A fucking NBA money line? Like, we're getting some insane stuff that is just hard to beat long term because you have to be very good at projecting it. Because, like, we know a book has his odds within plus 405 to plus 630 to actually hit a double for Julio Rodriguez. Now, is it more towards the plus 450, plus 500? If you thought that was it, well, then awesome. You know, it's efficient. And a lot of the times, because of these ranges, the numbers end up being efficient. But for specific cases, we've got lower hold for Austin Martin here. Now, I don't know if this is something that's being jammed. Plus 380. Okay. I don't know. It's just a market that I was trying to run some stuff for last night that it was fun for me. Just pull up AI, figure out how many times you're going to get punished. Again, you don't want a ball that the outfielder gets hit in the gap and then he's like fumbling to pick it up. That would suck because then that turns into a triple and you don't get paid. A home run, you don't get paid. A single, you don't get paid. You need a very specific example, but he hits these balls. He pulls these things by the third baseman so frequently. He does this so frequently that it's at least interesting to me. And you can see he has some of the lower hold out of anybody in the market. 6%, 6.3, 5.1. Austin Martin at 4.4%. Angel Martinez, 4.3%. Like, if I can get lower synthetic hold, I know I'm probably making a better investment. If there's something that I can rely on from a projection standpoint to pull it up for it. Anyone y'all like for the DraftKings Grand Slam promotion? Michael Harris. Buxton will punish you for a triple, then miss 2 weeks because he pulled a muscle. That sounds like Royce Lewis too, but also Royce Lewis is dead. Jock versus Flaherty. Yeah, I don't mind that. I have his hits prop and a couple of things from Pick'em. Where'd Jock go? Yeah. Plus 105 to get a hit there. That's ridiculous. Kind of minus 115 range. The thing is, Jock lost a spot in the lineup order, so his number came down. He was sitting minus 125, minus 120 across the board everywhere. But obviously, I didn't expect him to not bat third today. He's batting fifth, right? Or sorry, I had him as cleanup. But he lost one spot. Josh Young batting cleanup, and Jock Peterson going to the 5 hole. Evan Carter up in the 2 hole. That's wild, man. It's wild. Ozuna, nice bump. Interesting stuff. I hate to ask again. Can you look at Weatherholt? Seeing 55%. Sheehan giving up 50%. All right. So Sheehan does have some lefty issues. No question. I don't love the price. I got plus 850 in PNC for JJ Weatherholt, and he kind of carried home runs for me this week. Weatherholt on Tuesday it was. Going yard. It was one of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They're all the same day to me. But Emmett Sheehan definitely has some issues with lefties. But I love the stuff. How many times have we talked about Emmett Sheehan on this program? Love the stuff. Weatherholt's starting to be a little bit of a problem. I mean, he's starting to be a problem. He lofts it. He hits it hard. It's not a great ballpark, but we kind of covered Freddie Freeman as well. And I bet him. So I can't, but he's been pretty shut down to righties, to lefties, and that's what JJ Weatherholt is. This guy's becoming a problem. And we sniped him at the perfect time. Like, we absolutely sniped him at the 100% perfect time. Where did this go? Where did it go? Here we go. Lindy's long balls. There we go. Plus 850. Plus 850 where we bet him. I should start putting the ballpark in and the pitcher. I should start doing that. I will start doing that. I'll have AI fix that for me. Because again, I don't have to do that shit anymore. Just automates it. So JJ Weatherholt. You don't have to apologize either. This is a research show. We find some bets. I'm always going to get you some bets. But we're talking through the process. We're talking through plays. And I mean, fuck, we just covered Austin Martin double for however long. Like, I'm pretty sure I can pull up JJ Weatherholt in a market that most people are betting anyway. I think it's just a problem that you're now paying the he's actually good tax. Plus 725 is fine. I just think there's better. There's a little bit better out there. I mean, we have a pretty good sample size of Freddie Freeman not being a plus 720 guy in this spot, plus 700 guy in this spot. Just saying. Completely different thing. If you got a boost, again, I usually want to have something that's better than projected with the boost, but it's kind of like what I talked about with Ohtani as well. Plus 360, but if you have a boost and you've got some valid numbers behind it, I can't hate about it. Can you look at Church also? Yeah, Nathan Church, he doesn't loft it nearly as well. Batting 7th. Not going to be somebody that hits for a lot of power. 1 homer in 65 plate appearances last year. 5 homers. I mean, he had the double dong that I think might have inflated it a little bit, but definitely a strong pull hitter. Very strong pull hitter. So we can kind of square peg, square hole this a little bit. And Emmett Sheehan, horrendous in the pull department. Horrendous. So I can't imagine me clicking on Nathan Church today. But I got to imagine it's got to have a 4-digit number, right? Yeah, see, it's not close. I mean, it's close, plus 930. But I'd want plus 1,000. I think you're better off passing there. Not saying you can't do it, but yeah, close. I'd rather, again, maybe there's a tiny bit of EV that's hung up there, but I would rather find these no-doubter guys. Like, I feel pretty certain that Freddie Freeman should not be priced that in this spot. In the same exact environment, game conditions, everything. I think Nathan Church is close, but Weatherholt with the loft, I think you're better off passing there. 455 expected slugging. We're seeing, I mean, this is a talented little St. Louis team. I think their starting pitching is going to get them torched sooner rather than later. When you're rolling out Palante, and Liberatore, and May, these are not guys that I'm going to be Michael McGreevy. These are not long-term good pitchers. I will say, I think St. Louis has a very easy schedule this month. There was something where it was like most games won in the month was like a market that I was looking at the other day. Find this. Look at this schedule from what I remember. All right, so they have Dodgers. That sucks. Milwaukee sucks. San Diego. But Athletics, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, make it or, take it or leave it. But it was like 80-1 or something. Most games won in May. I looked at it for a while. I didn't do anything about it, but I looked at it for a long time. Isn't Walker a good one to look at? She and his trash pull air? No. Mainly because, Jordan Walker does not hit pulls. Jordan Walker has one of the lowest pull error percentages, period. Also, Sheehan is very good against righties. Like shut down to righties. Beyond good against righties. Still comes out with launch. And can Jordan Walker hit one against anybody? Yes, he definitely can. But I think that is a very thin play. Plus 600, plus 725. You don't get numbers like this for Jordan Walker frequently. I think the most likely thing is like a Tanner Scott comes into this game and Jordan Walker goes yard off of them. So maybe a live play, but I doubt it. Probably just staying away. In other words, a big boy in the ATL movie. I know that's not who I think it is. Oh, it's me, bitch. It's me. I'm right here. Walker is the biggest trap ever. Yeah, we're not going to bet Walker today. We're not going to bet Walker in a one-way market. We're just not going to do it. Not in this economy. Not in this economy. Plus 725 gets interesting. I'd much rather play Jordan Walker as a live play. Maybe he gets torched early. Maybe Sheehan gets just absolutely bludgeoned by some of these lefties. And we get a lefty coming in against Weatherholt and against Burleson. Walker there for protection. Herrera there for protection. 50% same game boost for the Cards game. Would you do Freeman with Weatherholt or maybe Ohtani? I think all three are pretty viable. As long as you're getting what site? Is it DK? Freeman is just awesome to me. Probably don't want to look at the total hits props, Eric. That'd be bad. Freddie Freeman, plus 700. Yeah, plus 690 on DK if you're getting that boosted. Plus 680 on FanDuel boosted. Those are both good things. Speaking of pull air percentage, what about Rocchio? This guy breaks my model every day. Every day. But I don't bet him except for in very specific moments. Brian, doesn't he have a stupid double Y spelling or something? Or is it two N's? Am I not recalling this correctly? Not even showing up here. But yeah, there's definitely some stupid shit with this guy. This guy's an absolute weirdo. So he's a switch hitter, so he's got some splits. But prefer him from the right side for homers. Yucky. Colson Montgomery going yard. That is not breaking news to anybody. We also got the Milwaukee lineup rolling out. Let's take a look at that. Take a look. It's in our book. Reading Rainbow. Oh, we were just talking about the NL Central. We were just talking about that. That's funny. I didn't even see that tweet. That's funny. All right, we got this suit is not black batting 6th today with Sal Frelick down there batting 7th. They didn't go Greg Jones. Who? Greg Jones. We got our boy Bowers there right where we needed him. Garrett Mitchell continues to be interesting in the pick'em department. But yeah, no, Colson Montgomery and everybody against German Marquez. If you're facing German Marquez as a left-handed batter, Yahtzee. 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 He looks awesome. He's definitely inside of plus 390 for me. I'll pull that up in a second. Murakami, unbettable. Unplayable numbers. But probably goes yard because he's a fucking freak. My boy Benintendi, who I probably bet on more than anybody. He's starting to get a little sexy. And then even this guy, I think Tristan Peters is an interesting long shot home run play. Plus 1350. I haven't gone there yet. One of the issues, though, is you're probably only getting 2 at-bats against Marquez. Probably. I say probably. But this guy launches the baseball in the air. He is a fly ball hitter. 26.7 degree launch angle last season. 19.1 degrees this season. The hard hit is way down. But we're starting to get it. We're starting to swing a little bit more. We're starting to get after it. And I mean, if there was a guy that you were going to target, I think German Marquez has got to be at the top of the list to some extent. Gives up hard contact, fly ball contact, and it's just a very extreme fly ball hitter. Obviously, it is not likely. Obviously, this is not a guy that I'm looking at much, but at least I know that I'm not getting gypped by a guy in Marquez who's going to get a lot of strikeouts against a guy who strikes out above average. And Tristan Peters never draws walks. Ever. 5.6% walk rate. I think you could do a lot worse than 1350 Tristan Peters today. I think you could do a lot worse. In fact, I think if you made that bet 1,000 times in 1,000 similar situations, you're making money over the long term at plus 1350. Does he do it today? I don't know. That's always the game. Like, it's price and probability at the end of the day. And plus 1350 is just a huge number when everything else kind of patches out except for the fact that he doesn't make a lot of hard contact. And here's the thing. His average exit velocity is above average. 89.5. It's just that the number of times that he's going to get you that 95 mile per hour hard hit ball that you need, not very high. Hold, please. God, I'm a degenerate. I love my wife. There we go. Overall, though, friends, if Tristan Peters goes yard, we might have to get naked tomorrow when I do this stream. Might have to get a little bit naked. Because I think he's a really good play. At the price, you could do a lot worse than $10 on Tristan Peters. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Just money. Alrighty. And so concludes our MLB portion of the program, I think, for the time being. I'm going to get back into MLB as soon as we get off this stream, because that is for sure. But I promised it. We're going to round out with a little bit of family association. We got a lot of fun basketball coming up today. It needs love too. No discrimination here, Squirrel. Shout out Terrence Shannon for making my day yesterday. But Tobias Harris, I think it's a little bit of a faux Q tag. I'd be very surprised if he didn't play. We obviously got Jamal Cain starting last game. Here's what I want to point out. Foul trouble. There was no question. Tristan Da Silva got completely... Now, earlier in the season, Tristan Da Silva was the guy who started in these spots. And I thought his 6.5 points prop was pretty interesting then. Wanted to see where we got now. Because there's a part of me that was just like, remember, Eric, you can run this back. You can run this back. And we have the rotation stuff over here too. Let me get this. We want to go to Orlando. And this is all available over at Stochastic. STOKASTIC.com. Shout out Josh for doing awesome stuff. Now, regular season, it's done there, but let's pull up add more funds for it. I'm going to slide this over here. And NBA, we're going to go to the rotations tab, and we're going to go to Orlando, SeaWorld, and Disney, and putt-putt golfing. My Book of Mormon fans in the house? No? All fucking 3 of you? Now, we got a rotation here, but they subbed him out after this foul. I think he got his minutes pretty muted by foul trouble. Only played 16, but I mean, I don't know what they were protecting him for, but he got his foul and he got subbed out right there. Picked up 2 quick ones there. And Anthony Black played a ton. We expected that. But does Jamal Cain play as much? And plus, Tristan Da Silva is one of those guys that if he's knocking down shots, we saw no usage for him last game. Nothing. And the numbers just cratered on Tristan Da Silva. Across the board, they cratered. Yeah, I think his points prop is yet again my favorite play that I've got from that one. 5.5 plus money, minus 130 at BetMGM. Again, Jamal Cain, it's probably going to be Jamal Cain. Maybe they do start Anthony Black because it's like, well, if we're just going to close with him and have him play an entire fourth quarter and be in those situations, maybe we just roll with him to start too. Let's look at the Cain unders. Oh. Yeah, I like his under 8.5 to some extent. 12.5 PRA. Not a lot in the way of that under. I feel pretty good about Jamal Cain being a short. 26 minutes. I'd be surprised by 26 minutes. I'd be surprised to not have 34 plus minutes of Anthony Black. Eric, do you like Reagan's? No, I do not. Josh Naylor on the short list. I didn't bring him up earlier. Throw your hands up in the Naylor. Plus 800. We did it with Ben Rice. We can do it again. We did it with Ben Rice. We can do it again. That Ben Rice price was still so dumb. Plus 400 against a lefty. Oh, he's facing a lefty. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. I got to go here. Add more funds. Just going to be where I live. Look at Seattle. Look at Cole Reagans against lefties this year. The fuckity fuck, man. What are we doing? Pretty good. Keeping him in check against righties, even though no strikeouts. Against lefties, we've got issues. And Cole Young and Josh Naylor are both in play. Again, I don't know what everybody else is betting on a day-to-day basis. I make my cards very straight up. I am paid to make money for myself and for other people. Plus 1,200 for Cole Young. You can do a lot worse than plus 1,200 for Cole Young today. Want to make sure he's in that lineup because they could go Rivas and bury him if they wanted to. Cole Young, Rivas can play over there. More than likely, Cole Young ends up in this lineup as well. But I want to take a look at that. But we're getting some nice loft, kind of the exact same stuff I was talking about. His expected numbers have been awesome. I think Cole Young, one of the quiet winners of the MLB beginning of the season. 777 OPS for a guy batting 8th. Left-handed. Cole Young. I think he's interesting. A warlord who shoots people in the face. What's so scary about that? Wow, God said to go up on top of your hill and bury it? That makes perfect sense. My Book of Mormon folks. Congratulations, got your boy name. We got our boy name, but didn't have to deploy it. Got Lila Lindquist. I'm a dad. Insanity. Insanity that I am a father. Anyway, let's get that Tristan Da Silva goodness down first. And then we'll recap everything at the end. Everything we added, everything that we're paying attention to. I am going to look at shorting Jamal Cain. Just going to put a quarter on it. Nothing crazy. Just enough to feel alive, friends. Just enough to feel alive. Sotex, Eric, it's been a minute. Good to see you working. Congrats on the offspring. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you, Sotex. Always good to see you, my friend. Always good to see you, too. Cleveland, Toronto has some shit. There's some fuckery going on here. Jacoby Walter and Jamal Shed. I think Jamal Shed is the smash of this game. His 17.5 PRA I looked at this morning, we've got a market-based edge to that. I mean, no Brandon Ingram, man. These numbers, it's like they forgot. Jamal Shed passes the rock. It's like they forgot. 6.5 plus money. I looked at 6 for Prize Picks. Didn't end up deploying it yet. But his PRA is really, I think, where it's at. This is a guy who, when he gets minutes, does some things. And we can go to Toronto Raptors, and we're going to have a start, actually, for Jamal Shed. Where's he at? There we go. And then we want to also take off the floor Brandon Ingram. These are not in order the way that I want them to be. Brandon Ingram, I. And then we've got Quickly, Q. There we go. All right, let's fetch the stats for this situation. We got Shed starting, and we got Ingram Quickly off the floor. The per 36 for Jamal Shed. And we have him in at 35 minutes right now, so kind of gives you a pretty quick, easy glance. Playing up in pace for Cleveland. We expect defense, and I mean, it's been really geared towards the unders here in the early portion of it, but the numbers have adjusted immediately, like game 2, you couldn't even deploy that strategy the way that you would want to. Days of yore, you would have gotten a total that you could still drill the under. And I thought they were pretty efficient game 2s across the board, which is a little bit annoying, but also been in a lot of the MLB streets, so I'm okay with it. Why is Quickly not off the floor? Oh, because I have to add. There we go. 2 of those motherfuckers. Surprise, motherfucker. Rudize, motherfucker. Lindy, can you do a recap before you leave? You're the GOAT. I absolutely will. Josh has been lost without you. I love Josh. Josh, we've all been lost without you. Well, that makes me happy. I don't want you to be lost. Lost is bad. Actually, Lost is a great show. Or it was for 4 seasons. Then we can have a couple of arguments. I think it holds up better. Like the last couple seasons hold up better in hindsight. But Jamal Shed, 11.2 assists per 36. What am I missing here? I just want the entire portfolio. It is the playoffs. It's not some regular season game against the Jazz. Jamal Shed double-double too. Oh, daddy. Oh, daddy. We might have to have some underdog in our lives. Might have to add some underdog to our lives. But Jamal Shed, let's get a quarter on this. 6.5 assists. You guys just nuked this while we were talking about it, didn't you? Fucking sly bastards. I want the entire portfolio. Minus 110 BetMGM. That didn't go anywhere. I just want to invest on the minutes for Jamal Shed. Get off the shed. Guys, this is so much fun over at Odd Shopper. It's so much fun. It's so fun to be chatting with you guys. If you're in VIP, there's a deal going on in VIP right now that's still available for anybody who hasn't taken advantage of it yet. For Lindy VIP, I should actually send that out because reminder. And there's a 7-day free trial of everything for Odd Shopper. The odd screen, if you guys want to be doing the same shit that I'm doing on a day in, day out basis, 7-day free trial. Have you tried your 7-day free trial? It is free $99. So sign up with Lindy OS, lock in a weekly and monthly. If you enjoy your 7-day free trial, it carries on. You get 30% off your weekly or monthly subscription of Lindy OS. Seems good. Seems really good. Try out some amazing tools for a week. Free. Oh yeah, and we got this too. Promo code DOUBLE if you guys are looking. $20 for a month. Lindy and Friends Discord. We have been in a rhythm. Feel the rhythm, feel the ride. It's bobsled time, but not the Greg Ehrenberg version. He really wants to bobsled all the time. Leans, likes, and locks. Yeah, it's coming back Sunday night. Can you see his points versus assists per minute when he starts off the bench? Like, is he playing a different role off the bench versus starting? Yes. I mean, he's still fucking passing like a motherfucker, but we can definitely bench for Jamal Shed. They go Walter and just have Barnes play point, because that's what it would be. We're going north of the border in game 6. Per 36 for Jamal Shed. But he is still passing like a motherfucker. Not scoring nearly as much. We don't have 14, but I expect him to start. And he's still passing like a motherfucker. Again, 10.4 assists per 36. It's not 11 and change. And his points went way down. But again, we bet a little bit. Not a lot, baby girl, just a little bit, just a little quarter, just a little snippet on Jamal Shed here. Because I don't want to get burned on a half unit here when I'm in the MLB streets every day. I'm in the NBA streets too. I'm especially playing NBA DFS right now. NBA DFS has been very good with the tools. Very good. I don't have a lot of time anymore. I used to have a lot of time, but now the time is devoted to other things that aren't just NBA and MLB research, even though MLB research it has been. We look at Jamal Shed, still looking pretty good in this category. Even off the bench, if he gets to 30 minutes, you're talking about something that is probably closer to break even, but at 17.5 minus 110. I'll take the upside of him starting. I don't expect some massive usage bump. Massive usage bump is what I was trying to say. But Jamal Shed double-double on underdog. That's a spicy meatball. That's a very spicy meatball. Might have to get invested. All right. Last game of the NBA streets. If you guys want to stick with me here, it's going to be tough to find anything here. We saw Austin Reeves played a lot. I thought he was going to play a lot. He's going to play a little bit more today. There was a blowout. There were a lot of other things that the Lakers wish didn't happen at the end of that game. Like, I don't know. I mean, Aiden played all right until the very end. Jabari Smith Jr. just on a heater, and you never walk away from the table when you're on a heater. You had Aaron Holiday coming back to his UCLA stomping grounds and stomping faces in. But overall, this is my least favorite of the betting games. It's not a lot to grab. We knew Durant was going to be out. We knew Luka was going to be out. Lakers probably need this one pretty darn badly. Only 3.5-point favorites with Reeves back. So there is that. Colin Murray Boyles with digging into. Yeah, he looked okay for rebounds. I probably won't bet it. He's been playing a lot in this series, a lot more than I was anticipating. I mean, Jakob Poeltl starting to be dusty dust. But 6.5, looking a little bit efficient. Again, we have 0 hold, 0.0%. We're close to Arbtown. Maybe bet the over, and then hopefully it doesn't check in for like 8 minutes and you can snag an under. More than likely, though, Colin Murray Boyles stays off the card, even though there are some interesting things with him. Took a look at that yesterday. Perdomo, 3-run homer. Holy shit. I thought nobody was going to hit a home run in that game. That's what I was told by Twitter. Man, that over just got torched. Alrighty, y'all. That is going to do it for me. Duty calls. This was fun. Fun to be back in the streets. Fun to talk with you all again. I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB and NBA streets today. Shout out Perdomo for going yard. I didn't have anything on it. Bye-bye.